Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look what's going on in the gold market. So it was really crazy session yesterday with the announcement of the Donald Trump and the tariffs, although it was announced really a long time ago, even for the week probably before the 2nd of April. But still, it's his speech and announcement of the tariffs brought some surprises. So for some traders, it has become the loss of the loss. So it's actually a very significant action. In particular speaking, in euro currency, the trading setup that we were hoping to get, starting preparing to it 2 days ago, was totally ruined. So although before the announcement, it was looking really nice. On the gold market, things that you see it also not quite the same that actually depending on how they look. So on the daily chart, it seems that nothing is going on. So yes, we have this spike to the upside. Market has reached the target that we have discussed yesterday and even moved slightly higher. But the shape of the performance, shape of action was really tricky. On a 4-hour time frame chart, the double repo pattern that we were talked about, or at least the idea of preparing some reversal for the downside action, currently has some signs. So because of this upward action tackle point has happened, market has shown the attempt of the upward breakout, what we talked actually yesterday. If you remember, I said this is not double repo here, but just because we do not have any signs that market is trying to break for the top. Now we have this sign. Here market was trying to break to the top and failed. Now this type of action here is at this point looked like the grabbing of the washing rings of the top, so grabbing the stops. And right on the top we've got the two bearish grabbers. They suggest drop below these lows. Besides, even without the grabbers, we have the engulfing shape. Why, in general, in the gold market we see this performance? If, for example, if you take a look at the Swiss franc, you could see it's just going to the hell. And absolutely tremendous demands for the safe haven currency. For the Swiss franc, why on the gold market we do not see the same? Because gold is also the safe haven. It should show the similar action as a franc, but it doesn't show it. Recall what we always talk about, because gold market is not the market of the, let's call it in the first stage, as in, you know, that for instance in some towns and the lines before the sea, right, you know, that's the first line, second line, and so on. So gold market is a kind of the second line. So we have the currencies in the front line, stock market. And it behaves differently because recently, by announcement of the tariffs, stock market has dropped for the 4%. It's once again margin calls on the stocks. Investors need cash. It starts selling other assets. Gold position is really high among the investors currently. And some part of it also had been sold. The same you could see with the Bitcoin market. Once tariffs have been imposed, announced, Bitcoin has dropped. So investors start selling everything else except the stocks just to fulfill the margin obligations that they have. This is purely technical and temporal thing. And that's why on a gold market, you could see this drop. So initial demand, initial action, it was announcement and drop of United States dollar. This action is a demand for the dollar and selling of the other assets, including gold, that has triggered this retracement. So by looking on our chart, you can't say that our target that we have discussed yesterday has not been reached. So actually, yes, market completed this APCD, target has been completed. Even market pursued high to the butterfly. But the way how it was reached, so it was really nervous period and actually tricky performance. And it was difficult to actually stay through all this process of announcement. Now market stands in the downside action. So for now, in this performance, what we have, the gold market action will depend on situation on the stock market. If sell-off will follow on the next week and stock market keep dropping, on the gold market we could get deeper retracement. That's why at this point I wouldn't underestimate the importance of this downward action. At first glance it seems minor pullback after the new top has been formed, so and ready for the upward continuation. But currently it stands in relation to the performance of the other market. So currently gold is a kind of the derivative market from the stock market. And purely by the technical background, the context that we have in the bearish context with the butterfly grabbers that we have on the 4 time frame chart remains intact until market stands below this top. So only if market will break it top and keep going higher, we could start speaking about the new bullish stops. Until then, engulfing pattern is valid, grabbers are valid, and this trend here is bearish, you can see on the 4 time frame chart. And from that standpoint of view, in the current point, personally I do not want to take the long position in current moment because it's too few information about what the next step will be. So if you scalp trader and you would like to take the short position, in your situation probably makes sense to wait for some minor bounce here. It could happen because markets start preparing for payrolls, and then you could try and take the position against the top based on the patterns that we have. For the bulls, it's probably the time to wait and see what will happen.